Aloha mai kako, Keolamau Tengan here with this week's weekly rhythm, the extended version. So, talking briefly in my 1 minute synapses, it talked a bit about this whole concept of radical action and how we're breaking these patterns of the past to better embrace our and immerse in our presence. One of the things that we really start to get into is this concept of renewal. And in renewing ourselves, we find new opportunities that present themselves. When I talk about the patterns of the past, what I have been saying is that what's gotten us here now will not get us there then. And so looking at the whole process with resolve to evolve, right? The vision and the vision crafting process allows us to immerse in different, renewing energies. And these are things that we may have felt that have been lacking in our lives. It could be anything from financial freedom to relationship to personal connection. And yet all of these things really are incredibly and are crucially important in the opening and evolving of our genius. So as we look at that then, these different patterns, whether it's a matter of coming from a place of scarcity and then moving into abundance, whether it's a matter of disconnectivity to really be in a place of authenticity, whatever these dynamics that are playing out are, what we really want to do is acknowledge where they have been in our lives and also really just recognize that it's not going to get us into our vision. That vision that we worked upon, that we created, that we are really wanting for ourselves is not going to embed within our very cells if we continue to act in the way that we have. Put differently, if I had a aspiration to release 10 pounds of weight, right? And I continue to eat pizza and I continue to eat, really just carbohydrate rich foods without doing any sort of exercise or movement or really just being very intentional about it at all, then there's going to be a bit of a disconnect, right? However, when I do set that intention and my actions follow and align with those intentions, all of a sudden things change, things become different because I am now different. And so as we look at this week, having gone through the energies of the equinox, now being in April, we are literally springing forward into this new area of renewal. So coming back to those words of empowerment that we worked upon with resolve to evolve, for example, are going to be really great in terms of identifying the direction of where we're going. This is indeed a constellation of energies that will allow us to move forward in a different way. Now, that's important because as we talk about this concept of radical action, well, what is radical action, right? I would say that what we have been doing is largely we've been trekking on a trail. Others have gone this way. We have gone this way before. So we generally know where it goes and how it plays out. Radical action is getting off trail. It is moving in that direction and just allowing our sensations, our inner guidance, our intuition to lead us, because that inner knowingness is something that comes into play that allows us to go not just where we have been, where we are meant to be. And in going in this direction, all of a sudden things change, because radical action means that we are breaking the patterns of the past. We have gone in a direction for so long, and now we are ready for something more. And that more takes us into a place of high uncertainty. That more takes us into a place that we have not yet been before. And at the same time, this is where the stage of the emergence in our awakening process comes to play, because we are presented with these different opportunities to grow. We are allowed this new way of being, and in doing so, things change dramatically. And so when I talk about radical action, it does not mean dropping everything all at once and going into a completely different place. What it does mean is that that different place that is calling to us, and this is something about that discernment, right? Everything that desires our attention is not deserving of it. And what allows us to differentiate is discernment. And that discernment comes from a place of inner discretion. And that is where our intuition really comes into play. So if it feels right, and it feels kind of off, only in that it's new, I haven't done this before, I don't know if I can, so on and so forth. When that mental, chatter begins to come into play, then that's probably a good direction to go. And in doing so, what it allows us to be is not just radically different, it is radically ourselves. And that's where the emergence comes into play. These new opportunities, these new environments, these new circumstances allow these different parts of our own self to be expressed because it is necessitated by circumstance. It has to come out because we need it to. Not only do we want it to, we almost need it to. And in doing so, wonderful, because we begin to experience the really just depth and breadth of who we are. So this week, pan back a little bit, see what's in front of you, feel into it with that intuitive sense. Psychics kind of just tune into it. Empaths feel into it. Energetics allow your Na'au, your energetic center, to digest it, if you will. And kinesthetics, see how your body feels with these new opportunities. And in doing so, I guarantee that really feels aligned is going to be something that has been searching and looking to find you here now. Love and aloha. Take care, and ahui hope.